Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavit Dvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. So we were doing chapter 2's 22nd shloka. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani gruhnati naroparaणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. Just as a man casts off his worn out clothes and puts on new ones, so also the embodied self casts off its worn out bodies and enters new ones. So, yesterday we were looking at the law of karma, and based on our prarabdha karma, we are getting the body, and there was some confusion about Sharira and Dehi. I think they are both, Deha and Sharira are the synonymous. I think Brahmaraji or somebody else can just help us to. And the example was given. So the clarity is there. I hope that I will just try to quickly read what we read yesterday.
Jai Gurudev, what Dr. Mara and Dr. Brahma were saying, what I could get was that the Deha is constituted of the 5 elements which will merge from where it came, right? And Shariras are all the Shariras which we read, the Sthul, Sukshma, Karan, Sharira, they are the Sharira, and which causal body remains with its impressions. So until that moksha is not happening, till then it remains, because there is always the prarabdha karma doesn't exhaust. So till then the causal body remains, because give and take is still there. So till then it is there, and while the deha is made up of the 5 elements, so it will disintegrate again. So deha will it will be disintegrated. What the words are there, you can read. This is what I could get in yesterday's discussion.
That way, even the Sthula and Sukshma Shariras are from the 5 elements.
Yeah.
Go back to Tattva Bodh, right?
Yeah.
Karana Sharira is Anadi Anirvachya, Avidya Rupam. Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram. And it is the reason for the existence of the first 2 bodies, Sthula and Sukshma Sharira.
Right.
So the sum total of all of this is actually Avidya Janita. Because if you go back to Tattva Bodh, the whole cause of the creation, which is Maya, itself is an illusion. From there comes the three gunas and then the five pancha mahabhutas. So if you keep that in perspective, the whole thing is nothing but the source is one. It's only a different name being given, but the sattvic and rajasic elements form the sukshma sharira, whereas the tamasic elements form the gross body after panchikarana. But basically, all of this is formed from that. And karana sharira is an aspect of Maya, individual for every individual jiva. Sum total of all karana shariras to put together is Maya. And you cannot pinpoint the origin of Maya. As in, it is anadi. You cannot say when it started, where it started. But it is there. Yama Samaya. So again, Swamiji has given a caution. We are not here trying to unravel and find out about Maya. We understand that it is there. We are here to unravel knowledge, unravel the essence of the self. So our journey should be towards the self. So we're removing layer by layer, and one of the biggest layers to be removed finally is avidya and that Maya.
So शब्दों की जंजाल में नहीं फंसना है.
Yeah, we should not just get caught up in these things. So have the big picture, and yeah, some things we will understand as we go along.
कुछ जान के चलो, कुछ मान के चलो. True, Brahmala ji. Dhanyavad. So should I repeat this or we can go ahead with, because this, I will just quickly browse through, right? This example of this fire and God is not a tyrant. Only a sadistic God could be a tyrant, enjoying the suffering of people for no reason. Some are born with wooden spoons in their mouths, others with silver and golden spoons, and some are born with no mouth at all. What kind of God would do this? Some are born to become orphans. Why then are they even born? Don't ask. We are usually told. This is what is called double justification. God is first justified by what he does, and then we are told not to question his actions. Why even talk about such a God then? Let us settle our account with ourselves. We have our own lot. You have a body here which has its own problems. You do not require God at all for this, and if there is such a tyrant, it is better not to think of him at all. On the other hand, perhaps the explanation is that we have asked for our particular lot in life. God is the law. We asked for it and we got it. The Lord says, I am the one who made you, and at the same time, I have not made you. This is like putting your finger into the fire and then asking the fire, did you burn me? Yes, I burned you, says the fire. Why? I didn't burn you at all. You just told me you burned me and then you say you did not. How can you say both? You are blowing hot and cold. I thought you blew only hot. And now I find you blow both hot and cold. Why is that? When you stuck your finger into me, I burned. To burn is my nature, my svabhava, and I burned. I cannot say that someone else burned. I burned your finger, but then I did not go after your finger, did I? I remained in my place. You stuck your finger into me and got burnt. In other words, you asked for it. This is the law and is what is meant by the law of karma, prarabdha karma. It is the jiva's karma, the law of karma being there. If you accept a soul that survives the body, then you definitely have to account for the varieties of situations that you face. Thus, prarabdha karma is the reason why a person, a dehi, comes with a particular deha which dies when the job is done. What is it that is new? With reference to taking on a new body, who is to decide what is new? Car rental people always buy new cars and after 1 year sell them. For them, a 1 year old car is old, but the one who buys it thinks of it as new. Others may buy a much older car and also think of it as new, whereas the seller thinks of it as old. Of course, there are even others who buy very old cars, fix them up, and are very happy that they have the oldest car available because it is a valuable antique. Who then is to decide which of these is new? Similarly, the king of Tiruvananthapuram in the south of India must walk to the temple every day wearing new clothes. The clothes he wears one day are considered old the next day and are given away. Of course, the one who receives the clothes thinks of them as new. This person may wear them for a year or two and then also think they are old. There is always someone who will take them. That is why it is said that there is a buyer for everything. You have to decide what is new. Similarly, here, what is old or new has to be decided by the Dehi and not by you, the onlooker. For the onlooker, the body may not be ready for death, but for the Dehi, the job is done. Those who are bereaved, kindly correct me if the pronunciation is wrong, may look at a particular death as something that is premature, but this is not the case from the standpoint of the Dehi, unless the death is caused by some wrong action, that is the abuse of free will on the part of oneself or someone else. Otherwise, it is for the Dehi to decide when the body's job is done. In other words, when the purpose for which the body was taken has been accomplished. Even though the Dehi may like to live on, the job for which this body was taken is done. When it is done, the tenure is over. Whatever had to happen here has already happened. Therefore, death takes place. Just as in the world a person takes on new clothes and gives up the old ones, so too the one who indwells in the body, the jiva, gives up the old body and takes on the new. What is meant by old bodies is to be understood properly. Therefore, for the Dehi, the one who indwells the Deha, there is no death at all. And for the Deha, there is no survival. The body is bound by time, subject to change, and it keeps changing all the time. There is no time when the body does not change because it is always changing. It is called Sharira or Deha. Deha means that which is subject to cremation, and Sharira means that which is subject to disintegration, that which is buried. The choice then is only between these two. The Deha is always subject to death and is always dying. It is not that suddenly one fine day it dies. Rather, it keeps on dying all the time. You cannot stop it. Whereas in the case of the Dehi, you cannot destroy it. Both facts must be seen clearly. This being so, there is no cause for grief. Ashocyan Anvashochastva. A theme that continues and is the conclusion. That there is no cause for grief is the vision of the Shastra, and being so has a here bearing upon the entire dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. As we proceed, we shall see that there are topical connections, sectional connections, and a total connection with this theme throughout the Gita. So it is just to remove Arjuna's grief. Bhagavan has given this shloka that you are not killing anybody.
This
It is all.
okay. Please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Even though the Dehi may like to live on, the job for which the body has taken place, and if it is done, then Dehi, even if it want to continue, it cannot continue. Body gets dropped.
Correct.
Can you read the previous paragraph again? Even though के ऊपर वाला.
This one,
This one
similarly.
similarly.
Yeah, okay. Similarly, here, what is old or new has to be decided by the Dehi and not by you, the onlooker. For the onlooker, the body may not be ready for death, but for the Dehi, the job is done. Those who are bereaved may look at a particular death as something that is premature, but this is not the case from the standpoint of the Dehi, unless the death is caused by some wrong action, that is, the abuse of free will on the part of oneself or someone else. Otherwise, it is for the Dehi to decide when the body's job is done. In other words, when the purpose for which the body was taken has been accomplished.
Means what do you mean by abuse of free will here? Means if we are not taking care of the deha or like that, what is
Yeah,
the
Committing
that
suicide.
that
okay?
exactly
Okay,
what.
I think suicide is abuse of free will. No?
okay.
You are leaving the body.
Mm-hmm.
Not you're leaving the body. You're killing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That is why Gurudev says, never ever do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's abusing free will. And homicide or terrorist attacks, homicide.
Mm-hmm.
See, it is different. In Arjuna's case, there is a war for dharma, to protect dharma. This killing is different. They're all at war.
Mm-hmm.
It was all prepared. They tried all kinds of negotiations. All of them failed, and therefore there was this war. This killing is different. This killing is to uphold dharma. Whereas terrorist activities where they kill homicide, where they kill people mindlessly, that is abuse of free will. So
And,
suicide and homicide,
and
these are
even
abuse of free will.
accidents,
Huh?
even accidents,
Accidents,
Yes.
no.
no.
Accidents, how it's prarabdha, no? You're supposed to have
Correct.
gone like that, and therefore you go.
Because
Accidents,
of
no
someone's
one
mistake,
intends to do an
happen.
accident.
Ah.
It just happens.
Mm.
Whereas free will, abuse of free will is what is the line there. And
Yeah.
that happens in these two.
Thank you.
So due to natural calamities also, if sometimes, so that is also due to prarabdha, right? Like maybe due to flood or something, there
Yes,
are.
yes, all that is
It,
prarabdha.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay, got it. Hmm.
See, free will is kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum shakyam. So you can, all these three are there in free will.
About that Dega, it's even Dega is healthy. If Degi thinks the job is done, then it then also death happens. Because um, some that that's that's how long that person lives, maybe through some kind of unnatural causes, maybe causing them to die. That's the first line in that paragraph says.
Yeah, the body may be healthy. It can even last for a few more years.
Yeah,
That soul truncates and leaves.
Degi, yeah, the Degi says job is done. So uh, it meant that's what that was. Dega, the body is not ready for death, but Degi say job is done. So yeah. Also, when we talk about Sarira, right, when it's a gross body is one thing, and then all that Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and the Panchakoshas, mind, body, mind, buddhi, all that is included in that part, except the causal body.
Correct. Hmm.
Ramaraji, can you explain that analogy of the that uh, Ra- king is going and he lives means gives away the clothes of every day, and it is old for him and new for others. So how we can relate it?
See, the question there was who decides what is new, what is old? It is
Hmm.
relative.
Hmm.
So when they see, each one is born with that prarabdha. And once
Hmm.
the prarabdha is finished, exhausted, it doesn't stay.
Hmm.
Look at abortions, for instance.
Hmm.
The fetus is still not born, but it's already gone. Do we, the onlooker, decide when the deha should go? Only when it becomes old, grey hair and everything? So who decides when that the clothes, the king is wearing the clothes, one day old becomes old.
Hmm.
So for him, fresh clothes are what are new. But these clothes are given away to someone, and for them, they may use them for a year, 2 years. And then when they hand it over to someone else, that someone else, for them, it becomes new. Similarly, the Dehi, is the one who decides when they will leave, when the Dehi will leave the body. So the new body, which is old, you don't wait for your dentition to go before you leave the body. There are people who die young. There are people who die very old. So you get that point there where it is not it is not about the time which decides which is old and new. It is the prarabdha which decides.
But that antique thing is not clear to me. Means
The chanting thing.
uh,
Yeah, there was an example of the car. Like some people have the hobby of keeping the vintage cars, no?
Correct.
Yeah. So
So
although
the
it
old
was an
means
old,
old
yeah.
soul, or old means that means onlook. Okay, you explain, please.
Onlooker is, say, someone else. For instance,
For our body means for a jiva, we are onlook. Jiva is a onlooker.
a third person is an onlooker.
Third person is on.
Third person. See, this whole shloka is what? Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya, navani grinati naroparani, tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani, anyani samyati navani dehi. So when we go back to the shloka, it's just like how, for instance, I was just thinking of my own self. Like when I take a bath, I like to wear fresh washed clothes. For me, that is fresh, that is new. I don't like to, after I take a bath, wear some clothes that I've left worn the previous day. This is basically for the puja and sandhya and all that. You wear fresh washed clothes. Although you have worn some clothes the previous day just for an hour or so, that still has that old feeling. So it's not fresh, it's not new. Right?
Correct.
So it is for someone else, that might be fine. So the onlooker, from in one instance, it's me, another instance, it may be someone else. So for them, it might be new. For me, it is old. So the concept of that old new for the deha is relative. Maybe it's just getting more confused for you. I'm not sure. But when we give away things, for us, they're old and therefore we give it away. But the person who's receiving it, he's receiving it for the first time. For him, it is a new thing. Isn't it? Your old clothes you're giving away to someone else. Just like in the king example. So he's giving away his old one day worn clothes are being given away. So the one who gets it, for him it is new. For the king it is old. So this old new concept is all very relative. Who decides what is old, what is new?
I was thinking like that somebody takes birth and it is means for people onlookers it is new baby. But it is old atma means whatever old soul is taking birth means that is like and
Soul is not old new. Soul
no
is
no no
eternal.
soul is okay, but jivatma whatever jivatma is coming who is living the body and who takes birth, so that is new and old for me. Like I was thinking like that. It's okay.
No, but then see, supposing the day he leaves the body as a fetus, that means that fetus, the body of the fetus has become old already. Therefore, he's discarding it, taking on a new body.
New body, huh?
For an onlooker, people who are looking at, they say, "Oh, the baby passed away
New.
already." About it's still not born. It's new. It's not even new. That kind of a thing. So the
Okay.
onlooker, it seems different. So the onlooker, it's not for the onlooker to decide. It is for the dehi to decide when they will leave the body. And when that leaving the body happens, depends on the prarabdha. Except when you abuse your free will. When you abuse your free will, you cannot say, oh, the dehi, it is not the dehi leaving the body. That person has abused his free will. He's committed suicide. And that is why Gurudev says, these people are bhatakta wa atma. They are not, they're neither here nor there. They're stuck in between. That is why you never ever take that step. And all our role and seva that we do, why does Gurudev say,
from them.
Don't pass by anyone who's got a sad face.
Hmm.
Go make a difference to them. You don't know what is going on in everyone's mind, no? So
Correct.
our duty, our seva, the greatest seva that we can do is to uplift someone else's mind.
Thank you
So,
very much.
I think it's clear now.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Dr. Pramra, I mean, just not revamping on the same thing again, but about that, the old car that has been renovated into new, I think it's just more like a statement, I think, in terms of like how as you getting older, you getting maintaining your health.
Organ transplants.
Yeah, versus yeah, something like mm, true. So that may be considered as that, you know,
Correct.
you
You can
renovating
consider
your
that.
body. Yeah,
Like,
something like that.
see,
Yeah.
all the aspects we take to preserve health. For
Yeah, like
instance, cardiac bypass surgery. What is happening? You're replacing the old worn out vessels with, you're bypassing them and getting a new leash of blood supply. So
yeah,
same
like
thing with
knee
organ
replacement.
transplants.
Yeah, knee replacement or
Yeah,
hip replacement, things like that, where joint
correct.
wear off completely and um, that they are able to do the function. So
Kidney
that,
transplant,
yeah,
whatever. All the transplants can be
And
considered that way.
all the cosmetology, facelifting, and they turn their they do not
Cosmetology is
the
one of the
Hollywood,
most,
Bollywood
yeah,
people.
superficial things.
They
Honestly.
even at 90 they look young.
Mm. Yeah.
yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Mhm. So much.
Thank you for bringing that perspective to our explain the vintage cars and renovating them.
Yeah.
Why, for that matter, even your house, when
Yeah,
it's old
true.
and worn out, kind of, and when you give it a whitewash and you repaint it, it gets a new look. It's like you're getting a new.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Everything needs maintenance, right? Like almost every simple thing, like either living, non living things, all of it needs some kind of maintenance to maintain its, yeah.
but the core point here is that all of them are temporary. They're
Mm,
transient.
exactly. Yeah.
They have a date of birth and a date of death. Expiry date is there. Manufacturing date, expiry date.
Mm.
The only thing that stays is the dehi, the atma.
Atma. So that's the reason there's no grief. You neither
Yeah. Why are
born.
you grieving? It already has an expiry date.
Yeah.
You are just being the instrument for that.
Mm.
And instrument just not killing mindlessly like terrorists. No. You're
Mhm.
killing for a reason, to uphold dharma,
Yeah.
to do your duty.
If we put ourselves, like, how we see it, the Atma exists in you and the same exists in all the other beings. I was kind of take a moment to explain this in terms of, I was watching Mahabharata a little bit, and whenever I get bored, in the sense I want to watch something on TV, then that episode, where Duryodhana, when Krishna comes for peacemaking, like before the war starts, he comes as a peacemaker, asking either he can give some five village, even Duryodhana says, I won't do it. I'm going to put you in the prison. So he takes this big, uh, what do you call that, chain, and
Vishwaroop. Vishwaroop.
no, no, no.
Ah,
He takes the chain and he, he arrests Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna, and then Bhagavan Krishna smiling, and he will, okay, do whatever. Yeah, nobody else can do this. You got to only do it because you accumulated so much papa in your life, that chain, nobody can bring it up to him to arrest him, because he orders all the that seva, the guys to do it, but they wouldn't be able to do it. But then Duryodhana goes and brings in himself and put that chain to arrest him and take him to that prison downstairs and put him there. Then, of course, Bhagavan Krishna gives this, appearance. Uh, it looks, I mean, of course, it's drama, but it's showing that as if his brother is inside the prison. And then when he comes out, when he looks at that, all the other people who take, what do you call that? All the soldiers around watching the prisoners and stuff. Everybody looks in the form of Krishna. In the face looks everyone Krishna. And even when he goes up and looks at his Karna and the what is his name, the king, his dad, his Dhritarashtra, everybody face, like even Bhishma and the Mantri and the Drona, everybody face looks the same all over. And then he becomes Vishwarupa, and he will give it the taste of how he gonna die. Then he screams. That particular scene, it showed me, it kind of revealed you. Of course, this one, like in the figure form, like we can see it. Whereas this Atma exists in everything as around us. So how we see it, as if we cannot see in ourselves, we cannot see in the other also. That is how we are in this ignorance part. The ignorance is that we are kind of so used to looking at this figures and nama rupa and all these things. What is inside is what is not. We are not aware of that. So, like we said, you like peeling the onion. So we have to go one by one and keep looking and realizing that that Atma is the one consciousness everywhere. Sorry, I took the time, but this is kind of thing, I could relate it to that scene. I don't know if you guys watch it, then you may see it, but I just thought this one.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Manga. So shall I read 23rd verse now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakah, न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः. Shastrani, weapons, enam, this, the self, na chindanti, do not cut, pavakah, fire, enam, this, na dahati, does not burn, apah, waters, enam, this, the na kledayanti, do not wet, marutah cha, and the wind, na shoshayati, does not dry. Shastrani enam na chindati, pavakah enam na dahati, apah enam na kledayanti, marutah cha na shoshayati. Weapons do not cut this self, nor does fire burn it. Water does not wet or drown it, and wind does not dry it. I repeat, weapons do not cut this self, nor does fire burn it. Water does not wet or drown it, and wind does not dry it. In verse 16 and again in verse 20, Krishna said that for the self which is real, Sat, there is no absence. It is not subject to negation in any of the three periods of time. Abadhitam Satyam. This statement cannot be shaken because that which is not subject to negation cannot be negated, and truth, Satya, is not subject to negation. You yourself are this truth. If you have any doubt, try to negate yourself. The very person doing the negation is the one you are trying to negate. You find, therefore, that it is impossible to negate yourself. Anything that is negatable is not Satya. Therefore, the one who goes on negating is Satya. The only one who cannot be negated, everything else is subject to dismissal. That which is not subject to negation can only be the Atma, the self. Thus, there is no absence, abhava for the Atma. Only that which is subject to time can be asat. That which is not subject to time is sat. Sat cannot be dismissed because dismissal implies prior existence and posterior non-existence, both of which are in terms of time alone, past, present, and future. That which is not subject to time and for which time itself is a dismissal object is called Satya Atma. This then is Krishna's constant refrain. Just as one gives up old clothes and takes on new ones, the one who dwells in this body, Deha, gives it up and assumes another body. Neither the Jiva nor Atma is subject to negation. The Jiva and Atma being one and the same. What can be negated, however, is the notion that I am limited, the Jivatva. The essence or Swarupa of the Jiva cannot be negated. Only the notion that I am a Jiva can be negated. This is a takeaway paragraph. I read once again. Just as one gives up old clothes and takes on new ones, the one who dwells in this body, Deha, gives it up and assumes another body. Neither the Jiva nor Atma is subject to negation, the Jiva and Atma being one and the same. What can be negated, however, is the notion that I am limited, the Jivatva. The essence of Swarupa of the Jiva cannot be negated. Only the notion that I am a Jiva can be negated. The same point was also made by Krishna in another form when he said that the Atma is not an object for any act of destruction. Na ayam hanti na hanyate. That is in the 19th shloka. You want me to read that shloka once? य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते. He who takes the self to be the slayer and he who thinks he is slain, neither of them knows, He slays not, nor is he slain. It is neither the performer of an action nor the object of anyone's action. In other words, the Atma is not subject to negation because it is not subject to destruction. No action can destroy it. So anything which is subject to time is tend to perish. But Atma, which is not subject to time, because in the past, present, future, it remains. It is. Okay? It is only its Swarupa is the truth. So Atma is always there. It can never be killed. Na ayam hanti, na hanyate. If you want me to repeat anything, please let me know. Anyone would like to have some discussion, or I can go ahead? We have
That I am limited, that jivatva means who is means feeling that I am jiva and he will take birth like that. No, next with
yeah,
the
your conditioning with the body, no?
Mm.
That I am
So
tall, I
Atma
am
and
short,
jiva
I am
is the
beautiful.
same. Only
Hmm.
the conditioned mind will take births again and again.
Correct, correct.
Punarapi jiva.
Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam.
Iteration.
Hmm. Correct. So that is just that notion that I am this body.
Mm.
Hmm. And that is that jivatva.
Mm.
But the Swarupa of Atma is Satchit Ananda only,
Yeah.
which is
Only that.
always the same.
Okay, continue. We can continue.
Yeah. Atma is indestructible. In the present verse, Krishna mentioned a few methods of destruction, none of which affects the Atma. At first, he talks of weapons which cannot destroy Atma. Later, he enumerates the elements that can bring about destruction. Generally, weapons are of two types. Those weapons that are released from one's hand, like a rock, a bullet, or an arrow, are called as astras. Those held in the hand, like a stick, hammer, or sword, are called as shastras. Here in the verse, the word shastra implies both types of weapons. With reference to weapons, then the Atma does not subject itself to any type of objectification. This is so because the Atma objectifies everything. That which objectifies everything cannot be objectified by anything. The Atma, yourself, objectifies the whole world. The world does not reveal itself to you unless you objectify it. And the Atma cannot be objectified by anything. What is objectified is not going to objectify the objectifier because everything else shines after Atma. There is only one source of consciousness, and that is Atma, you. Everything else is an object of consciousness. How then is an object of consciousness going to destroy consciousness? Consciousness has no particular form. If it had a heart, it could have an attack, but it does not. If it does, we have had it. The Atma is the one because of which we are aware of the beating of the heart. It is the subject of every object. Because the Atma is not subject to objectification, it is not subject to any type of action, including destruction. Thus, weapons do not slay this Atma. Fire also cannot destroy the Atma. Na enam dahati pavakah. It can burn the body, but it cannot burn the Atma. Fire cannot even destroy the subtle body, Sukshma Sharira, let alone the Atma. Similarly, water cannot even wet the Atma, let alone drown it. Apaha enam na kledayanti. Because it does not become an object that is subject to drowning. Nor can the wind dry it up. Na enam shoshyati marutah. Meaning that Atma cannot be dehydrated. Thus, Krishna brings out all the elements, earth, Prithvi, implied by the weapons and the metals with which they are made, does not destroy the Atma, nor do fire, water, and air. Air, Vayu, does not bring about the death of the Atma through dehydration. The word Maruta refers to the hot air of the tropical country, which can cause dehydration. I think we will stop here. If we want to, I'll repeat this. I think we can repeat whoever is there tomorrow. This particular Atma is indestructible. The difference between Shastra and Ashastra. Astras, sorry. Astra Shastra. When they are released from one's hand, they are called Astras. And when they are held in hand, they are called Shastras. So it is neither destroyed by Astra nor by Shastra. Atma is because it is the very subject which objectifies everything. So it is not subject to destruction. Yeah. Shall I stop here? Any Manana, any discussion? Please go ahead. I will just put just give me 2 minutes. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Just give me 2 minutes till I put YouTube.
we'll do a short meditation. Huh? सब लोग आराम से बैठ जाइए. Everyone sit comfortably, easily. रीढ़ की हड्डी सीधा रखे. Let's keep our spine erect. Let's take our attention to the top of the head. And become aware of the vast sky above the head. सिर के ऊपर विशाल गगन है. उस गगन से तरंग हमारे सिर पर पड़ रही है इस वक्त. इसका स्मरण करें. Become aware of the vast space and cosmic rays from the universe falling on your head right this moment. मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते सारे तरंगों को अपने भीतर स्वीकार करें. With a smile, receive all the vibrations, cosmic vibrations, into your body. Vedic chantings are there, are happening. All other sounds are there. Just welcome them all. मंत्र घोष भी चल रहे कहीं दूर. पूरे वातावरण में पवित्र तरंग उठ रहे हैं. इन सब को आप स्वीकार करें अपने भीतर. Let's also chant Om. हम भी 3 बार ओंकार का ध्वनि करते हैं. गहरी सांस लीजिए. रिलैक्स योर होल बॉडी. पूरे शरीर को ढीला छोड़ दें. लेट एवरी सेल इन आवर बॉडी स्टार्ट टू रिलैक्स, expand and smile. ओम शांति शांति शांति। और धीरे धीरे आंखें खोल सकते हो। Slowly and gradually you may open your eyes.